Hi goodies, hope you're having a good day. I hope you remember in the last video we discussed a bit about prime numbers and composite numbers, and we also looked into what are factors and multiples. So, if we need to discuss more about prime numbers and composite numbers, I thought we should get to know a little bit basics about division. So, let's look into some division vocabulary. So sometimes I felt some of you might have a confusion of what is this division. Division means very simple words we can say it is just sharing or dividing or grouping. Now let's look into a real life example. Imagine you have 10 sweets and your friends are there around with you. So altogether you have 5 friends together. You want to divide or share the 10 sweets among these 5 friends. And this is what exactly is division. That is dividing or sharing or grouping. How to divide 10 among your 5 friends. You can write it in different ways. You can write it 10 with this symbol, that is a division symbol, divided by 5 equal to 2. You can also write it like this, 10 by 5 or 10 out of 5, 10 over 5. Why I specifically mention this is because this is also something called fractions. So some of you might be thinking, is fraction same as dividing? Yeah, actually in a way yes. So we can discuss more about fractions in another video, but right now you understand this fraction is also means dividing. 10 divided by 5 which is equal to 2. So the answer 2 is the number of sweets each one of you will get. So 10 students or 10 sweets, 5 friends, you want to divide the 10 sweets among your 5 friends, you will give 2 sweets to each one of them. Now let us look into some words and terms related to division, which is nothing but the division vocabulary. Now, we can look into certain words and terms used in the concept of division, which is called division vocabulary. You might be wondering, division is easy, then why such words? It's important because certain words are used which when we hear we might get confused. So let me introduce these words to you so that the next time you hear these words you won't get confused, even if division is easy for you. So let me start with the word dividend. So I am going to take the same example that I discussed earlier. You have 10 sweets, you have 5 friends around you. You need to divide or share the sweets among your friends. And I also showed the 2 ways you can write division. Now this is yet another way to actually perform division. I am writing 10 inside a box and you can see I have put a big box around it and outside divided by 5. Using this example, I am going to explain each one of these terms. Let us start with dividend. As a definition, I'll say the number which needs to be divided into groups or the main number which you want to share. In this example, you have 10 sweets with you. You want to share the 10 sweets. So, this 10 is your dividend. We call it as your dividend. Now, let's come to the second word, divisor. Divisor is the number of groups into which you want to share the dividend, which means you have 10 sweets, you want to divide it among your 5 friends, you want to share it with your 5 friends. So, the number of groups into which you have to divide 10, that is what divisor is, which means your 5 is the divisor in this case. Now let's move on to the third word. It's a pretty fancy word, right? Quotient. It's read as quotient. Quotient, don't worry, it's just the answer that you are getting, which means you have 10 sweets, you are dividing it with 5 friends. Each one of you will get 2 sweets because 5 multiplied by 2 is 10 itself. So this 2, this answer, the number of sweets each one of you are getting is known as quotient. I hope that's clear. Now let's come to the last word, reminder. So reminder means what is left after the grouping. So let me take the same example of the 10 sweets. You divided among with your 5 friends. Each one of you got 2 and 5 times 2 is 10 itself. Let's subtract them. Nothing is left. No sweets left with you anymore. Which means nothing is left. So the remainder is 0. But let's look one more example where something is actually left. So instead of 10 sweets, imagine you have 15 sweets. And you and maybe your dearest friend, just two of you, are going to divide the 15 sweets. So 15, let me repeat, 15 will be your dividend. Divided by 2, 2 will be your divisor. Now the quotient, you cannot equally divide the 15 sweets. Each one of you will get 7 sweets because 2 multiplied by 7 can be divided and you will get 14 as your answer. Now 15 minus 14, you will have exactly 1 sweet left with you, which is your reminder. This is what is your reminder. So if you feel, you can give me that sweet. Okay. So these are the important terms and vocabulary that you need to know when you are talking about division. So I hope this concept of division made the things a little more simpler. So if you like my video, you can like it. If you can ask questions. If you have any doubts, you can comment it so that I can do videos on that. So please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.